video number 3. We're doing the interactive tutorial. We're doing this image from Bernard Klein and May Klein's Color My Sketchbook Dragons. So where we are up to at this stage, where we've gone up to, is we've done the first stage was doing the base layers with our markers, and the second stage was doing all the outlining, and you can see that I've done all mine as well now. And the next thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to start our coloring. So we're going to do these pieces, the breastplate and a kind of helmet, and also we're going to finish up and do the saddle blanket. Then video number 4 will be the dragon, and number 5 will be the crow and the fairy, and then we'll do the crystals last. So to get going, we're going to start with these pieces over here. So we left some white patches, some white spots to be able to fill in some other color. And the color that I'm going to use for this, I'm using polychromo pencils, is the cadmium yellow lemon, and it's number 205. We're going for, with the effect that we're trying to create, we're going for something that's not so brassy or so yellow, but we still want to bring in a bit of yellow because it adds a fantastic kind of tinge or some nice toning to like the silver kind of silver effect, I guess, that we're going for. So wherever there's all these little white spaces that we've left, I'm going to fill those in with the yellow. And what it does is it kind of creates the highlight, the highest or the lightest point of the coloring that we're doing. So it picks up the light quite nicely. And we might find when we do our shading that we go over some of this yellow anyway, but that doesn't matter because we've got it in now and it's part of the base layer that we're doing. So there we've got a little bit of zing in our silvery effect that we're going for. The next color that we're going to use is it's light phthalo green. It's number 162. This color is quite close to the aqua marker that we did. So it's a great color to use to fill in, bring in a bit of definition, and that's what we want to do. So we're trying to like now build up our color. We've got our very light color, which is the yellow, and we're bringing in some more tonal variation. Starting to work into these areas where the shading is. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Bit by bit it just starts to come together. So this is a great color, we're adding it in. It's giving us kind of like a second level of foundation color. And you know, with this technique, you don't need to color everything in solid. It's not very much not what we're doing actually, is coloring in solid. So we're building the color up, and we want it to have that effect that it looks like a bit battered and a bit silvery, and so we don't want the coloring to be too solid. We want it to be a little bit looser than that. Going to start adding in some now blue detail using phthalo blue. It's number 110. This is one of my favorite go-to colors in terms of all the blues. So I'm going to start off here with all the shading, the shadow areas that have been put in. What really gives the coloring zing, people, you want to know how to get the coloring to like kind of contrast, so you see the difference between your lighter and darker coloring. You've got to use a dark color. It's the dark that really makes the difference. Don't be scared to add it in. You can see I'm starting to put that in, it really looks good. Over here, all of these, we're going to color into this. You can see that the shaded effect starting to take hold, looking good. I generally color over these, not too precisely or exactly, you know, you want these, you're creating an effect, you know, so it means that you want a bit of irregularity. It's the irregularity with this sometimes that I find gives it, makes things look real, if that makes sense. The irregularity makes it look real. This is also something I was talking in one of the videos yesterday about fiddling, how colouring, you know, quite a lot of it is about the fiddling. And what I find is, like, I'll colour in a bit and I'll have a look at it and I'll lift my picture up even to get a sense of what it looks like, you know, from a distance. And then you can see where you need to add in more colour. You know, this is about building the colour up in layers. So as you can see, we're already starting to get quite a nice effect, and you'll carry on and you'll do that in this breastplate area as well. I'm not going to do everything. I'll take some pics and I'll post those for you, but that's the effect that we're going to go for. Then yesterday we started doing our marker base, but we never got finished with doing the saddle blanket areas because I wanted us to do some outlining first. So that was part of the previous step, was to do the outlining. And now what we're going to do is with the marker pen just go in and fill that, fill the spaces in, and then do some shading after that. So I'm using a Giotto Turbo Giant, and this is Neon Lilac. It's from the Fluoros pack. It's a little bit more fiddly because of the crosses being there, but the outlining really does help to guide you as to where to colour. It's a bit darker, so I'm going over there. Again, not filling in all the way up to the edges, leaving a little bit of white. We're going to pick some colour up there. Same here. I like to colour in the line in the same direction as the shadow lines. It seems to work best. And then this tiny little piece up here as well. A very, very nice colour to use with purple to like pick up some kind of light is orange. And so I'm going to use cadmium orange, it's number 111, and start off by filling in some of these white spaces that were left with the marker layer. Just broke my pencil nib. That's a catastrophe. Anyway, soldering on, not very long. Just sharpen it clear. It really does make a difference if you... I'm laughing because I hear myself saying this all the time. It really does make a difference if you colour with sharp pencils. You can get into tiny areas, you can colour lightly, you don't need to, you know, press too hard to be able to get a nice spread of colour, you know, on your page. There we go. And for adding in a little bit of shading and some tonal detail, my favorite pencil, one of my very favorite pencils in the whole world, Lyra Super Furby. This is the magenta color. There are those of us who buy them 5 or 10 at a time because once you start using it, you'll find that it's the perfect go-to color for everything. Okay, so there we go. You can see it's so beautiful. It starts to add some really lovely detail. With the shading, adding, you know, the darker shading, really, if you could, don't panic about this. Don't get nervous or intimidated. Something that you can really just do in layers, and over, you know, a period of time of coloring, I've really worked out that it works well to do things in lighter color layers and then build your color up. You know, you can't make too many mistakes if you're going light. And then as you go along, to just build the colour up. You can always go back and add more colour if you feel like you haven't done enough, you know. But it's very difficult to take it away once you get going. In all of these, always where like two lines intersect with each other, there will be a shadow that will get cast. So if you can get into, you know, colouring in those tiny spaces, it might not look like you're doing anything, but when you look at it afterwards, you'll see that it actually really does create an effect. And again, the sharper your pencil are, the easier it is to get into these tiny little spaces. They do make a difference, you know. So you'll work this, keep going, darker, colouring over the shading lines, and you'll start to get a lovely effect. If you feel this is not dark enough, a great colour to use is a dark purple. It's going to become one of our best friends in this colouring tutorial. We're going to use it a lot. This one's Mauve 249 of the Polychromos. Put it in there and you start to get a really nice effect. Nice contrast between your lighter and darker colours. There you go, it looks great, looking good. So that's how you're going to carry on with your saddle blanket. We've done these, you're going to do the breastplate, we're going to do the saddle blanket. Carry on with that. When we come back, we're going to start tackling the dragon. Ciao for now.